All right. Hey team, we're back here. So we just went over the legend sheet, just describing some of the basics of the electrical symbols, the type designations we have and what we use for indicating mounting heights and all that. So the next thing I'm going to do is go to our, and I have it already opened in my tab, but I'm just going to our power plan that can be accessed here under floor plan sheet, this A3 power plan, this level 1 power. This I already have some simple layout approximated here just to kind of go over with some appliances here, just to go over some of these items and how to use these symbols. As I had mentioned before, in going over the legend, we have wall-mounted symbols, we have ceiling-mounted symbols, and we have tabletop surface-mounted symbols and floor-mounted symbols. So let's just go take a look at that. So under our in our template, if you do a search for if_e device, I think it's this way. Let's see. Oh, e device. You know, let's just do a search for device. This should get it. Yeah. So yeah, okay, this is what I was looking for. So if you do a search in our family browser for device, you'll find a series of e-devices. Here are our ceiling devices. So these are our ceiling mounted devices. Let me just, and then down below that, you can see e-device floor. So this is our floor hosted devices. I can place one of these in our plan. So if I just select it, if I just hover over here and just place one down, there it is there. And that's the AV. You can see audio visual there. And then I've got under eDevices table. So these are face-based families, the one that's titled table. These are for any face-based element that can be placed on tables, that can be placed on millwork. So let's just go ahead and pick a duplex. Now, when you do use this face-based one, if you're in a plan view, it's going to default you to a vertical face, that you want to place it on a vertical face. If you want to just place it on a plane, go ahead and just click this place on plane option here. And this will give you the ability to place this on any visual plane or any visible planes you might have. You can hit the space bar to rotate the symbol to get it to look vertical. You know, so if we can put one on this table if we want, let's say, you can put it on the floor. Floor devices can only be put on floors, but table devices can be put everywhere. But keep in mind, again, this really is used for when we're indicating that we want a device and a low voltage device on a tabletop or, you know, on some sort of surface millwork or something. Last we have, since we've talked about the other three, we have a wall-mounted device. So if I click down here, if I just scroll down to the next one, we have this eDevice wall. So again, I can click on one of these, and just like the floor devices only host to floors, the wall devices only really host to walls. But we can put that one here, let's just say, and we have this in the project. Now, one thing I want to just point out here is that, let me just try to get this guy. Here we go. Okay. So one thing you'll notice as I was placing these is if I, for example, grab my eDevice wall, you can see that within this eDevice wall, there's a family type for every single symbol that we have in our legend. And that allows us to, using one family that is the wall eDevice, we can change this symbol to be any of the other symbols that we might want to apply for this at this location. So you can see if I wanted a duplex, I can change it to that. If I wanted it to be a quad, I just have to select it, hit this drop down, and just pick a different device type. So you can see if I want to tell data, you know, you can do that. Now that's the same for all of our symbols. So if you're using a table device or a face-based one of our families here, you can see we can change this to a data symbol. We can change this to a quadruplex. We can match properties even. Let's say I wanted this one to match the properties of that, make it a quad. I can go ahead and under modify, I'm going to left click there, and I'm going to click on match properties, and I'm just going to match those properties right there. Okay. For ceiling mounted devices, so I haven't placed one yet. The one thing about the ceiling mounted devices, just to give, again, this is still part of this just overview before I do a deep dive, but in order to place the ceiling mounted symbols, I have to actually go to the ceiling plan. So if I go to my reflected ceiling plan here, I can go to the sheet or just the view itself. Let me just go to the sheet since I can get to it here. Let's just say that, and then I know that's my ceiling here. If I click into the viewport, I can now go under architecture, under my components, and I can just go find that ceiling device. I think it was the first one. Yep. So here are these e-device ceilings. So let's just say we need an audio-visual connection in this tile here. What I would do is just go ahead and place it. Now I've got it placed there. So again, this is the one symbol that we are not able to place in the power plan because the symbol needs to host to a ceiling. However, you will note that if I go to our power and communication plan here, if I go to this sheet, you will see that once I've placed that ceiling mounted symbol, it is registering, it is scheduling on, or it is visible on our power plan. So one thing that's beneficial about our template is we place our power, our power is coordinated on our RCP, but on our power plan, we will still see it represented approximately, below the ceiling, actually exactly below the ceiling where it would be proposed on the ceiling plan. And if I move it here, let's say I want to shift it down, a tile or something, I'm going to be moving that and relocating it in my power plan as well. You can see that, and vice versa. If I change it in my power plan, let's say I want it to be, I can select it here and I can just kind of move it over. Okay, well, no, I really want it to be right above, this part of this desk here. You can go ahead and do that. And again, it's coordinating that location with your ceiling plan. So that's just a very, very first off basic layout of or overview of the different types of symbols we have. I did mention, again, with any of these, any of our symbols can be swapped out for any other symbol within that family type. So within the ceiling mounted symbols, we can apply any of those symbols we want just by changing the type. It's very simple. We cannot change this to, let's say, a floor device though, because this is not the type. This is not the floor hosted family type. So these have to be changed within themselves. But for example, if you have your floor device, you can go ahead and change this to anything you might need. Let's say a quadruplex here on the floor. You can do that. Okay, so that was a quick review of just kind of the overview of the symbols and how they lay out on a plan. I'm going to go next into starting with the wall type families. I'm going to talk about all the parametric abilities of those families and how to use them and how to show a few demonstrations on placing them in the plan for a project.